I delivered our letter to Fort Mercius. I don't think they suspected anything.
I knew I was right to entrust that task to you. You've got that honest kind of face that makes it easy to fool people.
Is that meant to be a compliment?
What did you write in the letter?
I informed them that reinforcements were on the way. It would have been suspicious for troops to show up unannounced.
So, the plan is...
We'll disguise ourselves as reinforcements from the Imperial capital and sneak into Fort Mercius.
Oh! You used my disguise plan after all.
We've also procured Imperial Army uniforms.
Ooh, good work. I knew this was the only way.
However, that alone wouldn't be enough.
You did say the plan needed a little more refinement. Are you going to dress up like Edelgard, Claude?
I'm not sure that would accomplish much. In the letter, I included the name of the Imperial General leading the reinforcements. While we're heading to the fort, a separate army is going to attack us.
We're going to be attacked?
That's all just for show, though. It'll be our allies who are attacking us.
Oh, I get it. We're going to make it look like the Alliance is attacking Imperial reinforcements.
Right. When the troops in the fortress panic and open up the gates, we're in.
I'd love nothing more than for this plan to work, but I've got some bad news for you. Apparently, the notorious Death Knight has been placed in charge of defending Fort Mercius.
The one who kidnapped Flame.
The Death Knight. I did not wish to ever think of him again.
He got some acclaim in the battle to subjugate Western Fargus. They say he holds the most military prowess in the Empire.
Even so, we've got Teach here to command us. All will be well. You have to trust us.
So your big plan is to just trust your professor? Really, boy?
Under the professor's guidance, I'm sure we'll manage somehow. We're counting on the tactics you learned from Captain Gerald.
Prepare yourselves, everyone. It's time. Teach, this is for your ears only, but there's actually one more part to my plan. I had hoped it wouldn't come to this, but I have no choice. Absolutely. We can't afford to hold anything back. Thanks to Edelgard's strength, the Imperial Army is more unified than I would have expected. It was a painful realization, but after our battle at Gronder Field, it's clear that we can't win if we don't pull out all the stops. I also realized something else during that battle. There really is something special about you, Teach. The reason we were all able to keep our cool in the midst of the chaos was because we all trust in you, in your command and in your strength. Everyone here believes that we will win as long as we have you on our side. Our faith in you is borderline religious. You and I, we have what it takes to free Fodlan from the Empire's rule. I know in my heart that we'll make it through to witness the world after all the fighting has ceased.
That woman approaches. Will Death's scythe claim you? Or will I fall to that sword of yours?
You have my gratitude.
While awaiting reinforcements, the Alliance predicts the Empire will continue to fortify its defenses at Fort Mercius. Knowing this risk, Claude and a select few advance, hoping to gain entry to the fort through deception.
General, reinforcements have arrived from the capital. They clashed with Alliance forces in the outskirts of the city, but should enter the fortress soon.
You let them in? Make haste and slaughter them all!
Huh? Why?
They are enemies. Slaughter them all. I will not say it again.
We made it in. Professor, take control from the south. I have my own tasks to do from here. There are preparations to be made for our secret plan.
I see your skills haven't dulled yet, kiddo.
What did you expect? Everyone, listen up! From now on, the Almiran forces will be fighting by our side. We'll work as one, and we will bring down that fort together! An impregnable fortress is a wide-open prairie once you get inside. From here, we'll attack from the north and south at once.
No different than a prairie, you say? You've got a strange head on your shoulders, kiddo.
For Nadir the Undefeated, this should be as easy as a walk in a meadow, right?
Ha! Well, goddess or death god or whoever they may be, let's crush them to dust.
At the ready. I fought and won.
Let's make this quick. I've got no time for mercy.
This...
I'll do my best. Shall we?
Ready when you are. What's my strategy? My orders?
Steady now.
Leave it to me.
Let's clean up.
Shall we?
I must keep going. not dying here.
Going for the kill. Thinning their numbers.
That was amazing.
Let me paint you a picture.
You're making me work. Can't afford to slack off.
Strategy in motion.
People are waiting on me.
Don't get used to this.
Saw that.
I won, didn't I?
That's a big help.
Never let your guard down.
No chance.
I aim for greatness.
I will destroy you! Alright, who's next?
time is ripe.
Report! The Death Knight is moving. It looks like they're abandoning the fortress and making an escape.
We need to put an end to this here and now. Come on, let's circle around and cut off his retreat.
You're stronger now. Whether I kill you or you kill me, I'm looking forward to this.
There is still room.
If you desire to slay me, follow. The appointed hour is at hand. I have no need of you.
Still far from the top.
He's hiding something. It's annoying to do what he's telling us to, but we don't really have a choice. After him!
It is coming. Leave now, or all of you will die.
Run! We have to evacuate immediately!
What just happened here? The fort. It's just gone.
My, thank you so much.
Hey, kiddo, what was with that javelin of light?
Javelin of Light. Well, that describes it pretty well. The fortress was supposedly impregnable, but look at it now. It's hard to imagine that the Empire would do something like that. But if not them, then who? And for what purpose? If they wanted to kill us, then why wait until now to use it?
We almost died just now, and without an answer to any of that. Speaking of unanswered questions, why is Nardell here? Care to explain? I get the feeling there's something you two are keeping from us.
I'll go ahead and see my subordinates off to Elmira, kiddo.
Wait, Nader! Are you really just gonna leave me here and run away?
I hope to see you again, Judith. And you too, Professor. I'll be praying for your safety.
Nader? Are you saying that Nardell is actually Nader the Unstoppable?
It's actually Nader the Undefeated. Almirans love grand titles.
I knew he was no ordinary person, but to think he was the great hero of Almira.
Hey, can we really afford to be chatting right now? If another one of those javelins of light falls, we're all dead.
Claude, there are things I wish to ask you, but first we must hurry and withdraw.
Right you are. Come on, everyone. Let's hurry up and get out of here.
Claude, it is time for you to explain. Why are you so close with an Almiran general?
Well, he did quite a bit for me when I was younger.
When you were younger? So, before you joined House Regan. How and where did you meet him? There aren't many opportunities to meet a general from Almira in Fodlan.
If that's what you believe, it's only because that's what you've been led to believe. After all, we have Cyril here among our allies, and he was born in Almira.
Hey now, don't drag me into this.
There's a big, wide world outside of Fodlan, and it's overflowing with different places and cultures. You think interacting with outsiders is odd, but isn't avoiding contact with the outside world far more unnatural?
Don't change the subject, Claude. To the people of the Alliance, the Almirans are...
It's true that there's a history of hostility, but why should that mean we're doomed to remain hostile forever? The Almirans aren't monsters. Just look at Cyril. Does he look like a monster to you?
Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
Right, Teach? What did you think when you met Nader? I'll tell him you said that. And I'm sure that if all of you got to know him, all of your preconceived notions would change too. I know you guys, and you aren't the type of people to reject someone without trying to get to know them.
But how did those Almirans even get past Fodlan's throat? I doubt my brother would just let them pass without saying anything.
Yeah, about that. I actually made sure your brother met Nader in advance.
What? Lord Holst met with an Almiran general?
Oh, so that's why you were so interested in my brother. But wait, they're supposed to be bitter enemies. They've fought each other several times before.
I know, it was a big gamble. But rather than having me try to convince them myself, I knew it would be easier to just have them meet. They were taken aback at first, but sure enough, they hit it off. They were even drinking to their newfound brotherhood before parting.
It makes sense. If you take the greatest heroes away from the battlefield, of course they'll get along.
Fighting one minute and drinking together the next? Men are so weird.
Ultimately, someone's bloodline has nothing to do with the friendships they forge. Relations between the Alliance and Almira is a matter we'll tackle in the future. Still, I want to take this opportunity to make one thing clear to all of you. After we defeat the Empire, I intend to tear down the walls that separate Fodlan from the outside world. I want to let people and goods come and go freely, and in doing so, eradicate prejudices about the outside world.
Huh?
Would it even be possible to achieve such a thing? It directly contradicts the Seros' tenets.
Does it? I'm not so sure. In any case, I'm prepared for the inevitable protests and criticism. New ways of doing things are always met with resistance. During our time at the Officers' Academy, all of you overcame the barriers of birthplace, status, and ideology. Having gone through so much with all of you, I have no doubt that, in time, you'll understand.
I guess there were a lot of different people there. People we wouldn't have met through the normal course of our lives.
Dusker once opposed the kingdom, but there was someone from Dusker there. Brigid once invaded the Empire, but the Brigid princess was there. We ate at the same table as those people. Sure, sometimes we didn't get along, but other times we helped each other out. Can we really draw a definitive line in the sand and say one group of people is all good and another all bad? If I can realize my dream, Fodlan will be reborn. The old age will end, and we'll welcome a new dawn.
But if...
Save your objections for another day, Gloucester boy. That said, there are more pressing matters to discuss. Our next step is to invade the Imperial capital, right?
That's right. I'm sure Edelgard is eagerly awaiting our arrival in Enbar. Reinforcements from the Alliance Lords should arrive soon. Let's make sure we're ready to greet them.
Part 2. Verdant Wind. Garland Moon. The Chaos of War. Claude's plan to call in all Myran forces succeeds, and the Alliance army captures Fort Mercius. Before they can celebrate their victory, javelins of light rain down from the sky and destroy the fort. Forced to temporarily evacuate, the Alliance army regroups at Garreg Mach until it is ready to march on Enbar, the Imperial capital.
It's almost time to invade the Imperial capital. We still don't know where Rhea is, but if she's alive, she's likely in Enbar. Hopefully we manage to find her without too much trouble. If the Empire has some reason to keep Rhea alive, then she's alive. I'm sure you must be anxious to see her again. I understand. You need to see Rhea again so you can figure out who you really are. But we're going up against Edelgard here. It won't be so simple.
Our next stop is the Imperial capital. We've sure come a long way.
What are you talking about? This is Garreg Mach. It's where we started.
I didn't mean literally, Raphael. I was speaking symbolically.
My earnest desire to protect the Alliance has carried me this far. It will not fail me. I am sure the rest of you all have your own reasons to fight as well. Of course, I understand that the fight will not end until we defeat the Empire. And now the time has arrived at long last to march on the Imperial capital and defeat the Emperor.
It really gets you thinking, doesn't it? We all come from different places and have different goals and dreams. But thanks to those two, we were all able to come together and overcome all sorts of challenges.
You are referring to Claude and the Professor, I assume? Even within our own odd group, those two are particularly unusual.
Oh, so you are aware that you're odd. Well, it was simply a figure of speech. I am speaking about Claude and the Professor right now.
They're like the wind and the trees.
Huh? Claude and the Professor are? What does that even mean? And who is which?
Oh, I was just thinking that if we're the birds, then those two are like the trees and the wind. The Professor is a great tree that kindly embraces us and watches over us as we perch on its branches. And Claude is like the wind, pushing us forward as we soar across the open sky.
The metaphor about the Professor is solid, but I think Claude just blows us around on a whim. Still, we owe him a lot.
I think that's beautiful, Marianne. I can really picture it. When this war is over, I'd love to paint a picture of those two. Oh, and of all the people we've fought with as well.
You mean like a historical painting? I like that. Maybe our descendants will look at it a long, long time from now.
I must say, that piques my interest. I look forward to seeing how you portray my valiant efforts.
When you put it that way, we may be witnessing one of the greatest events in Fodlan's history. It's a lot of pressure, but the sense of duty I feel is even stronger than the fear.
I'm just happy to be here with all you. I won't get scared, no matter what we face.
We have our goal. Enbar, the Imperial capital. Let's get to work.
Thank you so much.
Hi.
Here's an idea. Cornelia took control of the kingdom capital, and then founded the Fargus dukedom in the Old Kingdom territory. Still, Fargus has remained a mere spectator with regard to our actions so far. It's not so surprising when you consider that they can't even get a handle on the Fraldarius territories.
I need to be speaking. 5 years ago, Edelgard said a thing to me. Bridget is a vassal of the Empire. But she also said I always have the freedom to be choosing whether I am with or not with her. I will become the ruler of Bridget. So she said I must make my own path. So now, my path and her path will be colliding.
The Death Knight is no ordinary knight. I will prey upon him. I will quench my blade's thirst with his blood. His focus is on fighting you, I'm sure. But mine will be the last face he sees.
Hello.
You're kidding.
Those things appeared as soon as we got ourselves set up in Fort Mercius. Think what might have happened if they'd have hit us during the battle at Gronder Field. Assuming it was the work of the Imperial Army.
Have you considered... They used to call Enbar the city of Saros. To assault it together with the Knights is surreal. If Saros were alive today, I wonder what she might make of our war. In Enbar, there was once a southern church, and apparently a bishop was dispatched to it. 100 years ago, the southern church became entangled in an insurrection. Until 5 years ago, the Empire and the church maintained a certain distance from one another.
Professor! My mother might be in the city. I don't have many good memories of her, if I'm being honest, but she's dearer to me than my father. If you happen to see her, please make sure she's not caught up in all the fighting. She's only a civil servant, so hopefully she takes a cue from her Bernie and stays inside. If we can win this war, then Claude will be the king of Fodlan, and maybe he'll tear down the wall that separates Fodlan from the outside world. I know it's hard to imagine, but I really hope he does. It would be so much better if people could live together instead of apart. I might even be able to live an ordinary life in the world Claude envisions.
Right.
No.
That Nardell guy, or Nader, I suppose. It was all some trick, and we fell for it. I don't think the nickname The Undefeated applies if he flees from us. Though, maybe he only got that name by running away. Can't be defeated if you run off, right?
In the opera, actors came and went all the time, but the people behind the scenes would stay forever. I'll bet I'd know a few of them now, even after all these years. They've probably left the capital by now, although I'm still worried about them.
Just recently, the fish in the pond suddenly started thrashing around like mad. I didn't know what was going on. And then I saw something gleaming in the southeastern sky. It happened right when you were out on campaign. I wonder what it...
We're heading up to Embar next. I hope I make it back safe so I can tell my little sis about it.
I hear they got a neat opera house there, where Manuela used to perform. What was it called again?
Nah, that doesn't... My little sis always... I know we can't...
Professor? Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. Momentum's really picking up for this final battle, huh? Even I'm starting to feel tense. Me! Enbar's history goes back 1,400 years. That even predates the founding of the Empire. It's one of the sacred sites of the Seros faith, so it's a pretty big deal. But hey, no need to worry about the monastery while you're fighting the final battle. I've got it covered. I'll defend it to my last.
Well, I'll be. Just a few months ago, I thought it was impossible to secure a victory against the Imperial Army. But you've shown me miracles can happen after all. I believe that victory is within your grasp.
Hello there. Return soon, please.
Professor?
Professor! Here we are, facing the final battle with the Empire. It's been a long, difficult struggle. We have to get Lady Rhea back. And we have to crush the Empire in the name of Captain Geralt. I don't know what comes next, but we can sort out those details later.
Speaking of which, it's been so long since I've been to the Imperial capital. I used to go to the opera there with my mother and brother. I never thought my return would be like this.
Yeah. Reinforcements from the Alliance are still incoming. Perhaps we can wait.
At least until we have an even balance of power. Plenty of supplies have made it through from the Eastern Church and the Merchants Association and the Alliance. All the people of the Alliance believe we can win, so they're doing everything they can to support us. That means we have to do our best to live up to their expectations.
Oh my. With the Empire destroyed, the borders within Fodlan will likely become a thing of the past. With that, the rules of trade will change. Personally, I'm excited to see what these changes will bring.
My friend, the reinforcements the Lord sent are finally gathering. Truth be told, Fort Mercius would have made for a better base of operation. But that weird pillar of light changes things. It's pretty scary, honestly. I wonder what it is. Makes sense, but whatever it was, I've never seen destructive power quite like it. I wonder where it came from. Well, I guess pondering it is a waste of energy for now. Let's just get ready to move out. The capital is Edelgard's domain, so she has the advantage. It's going to be a tough battle.
Of course, the Alliance is making sure that the five great lords help with the effort, but we'll be getting support from the smaller territories too. I'll bet this is the first time those territories have worked so closely together, at least since...
Once this battle is over, what will become of Fargus and Fodlan? My hope is for a world at peace. A world in which this present turmoil is a thing of the past, the stuff of legends. I believe those who survived the atrocities of war have a duty to create a new, better world. So the sooner we can stamp out such turmoil, the better. We must win, Professor. There is no alternative here. I won't allow for anything else.
It's such a relief that we've made it this far without having to fight my father. Hey, don't try and scare me. If he turns up as a reinforcement during the assault, we might lose. I'd better make my peace with that.
Professor!
So, Enbar, the capital of the Empire. It's finally time. I never thought I'd live this long. It's like any battle, really. Stay calm, stay focused. Don't give in to the enemy or your own fear. Striking down the Empire is my offering to His Highness. I left the kingdom. What am I saying?
Looks like we're nearing the end of this struggle. I'm sure Lady Rhea is on tenterhooks waiting for me to swoop in and rescue her. I was just kidding. Pay me no mind. Lady Rhea's not waiting for me, I know, no matter how much I might wish she were. She's waiting for you.
10 years ago, Dagda and Bridget attacked the Empire from the west. Their final target was the capital, but they were countered at a port town long before they reached their destination. I guess our attempt has been more successful than theirs, all things considered.
Hey, Professor!
Invading the capital and smashing the Empire. I wonder if doing so could really end this war. Care to share your thoughts, Professor? You say that with such confidence. I want to believe that it's true. Although for now, better to focus my efforts on the fight at hand.
Professor, we're about to put the finishing touches on this war. I wonder how Fodlan will look without the backdrop of death and destruction. On the other hand, I'm terrified of what the future might hold. Who knows if I'll survive the assault on the capital?
Right. Enbar. Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine I'd be returning like this. Of course, most of the nobles in the Empire make their home in the capital. In the kingdom, all nobles live in their own domains. So if the capital is attacked, it doesn't necessarily affect them directly. What will happen to the Imperial nobles when their capital becomes a battlefield?
Hi. Here's an idea. The Empire's army should be divided now, with significant troops still in the west. If they don't assert their authority over the Old Kingdom's lords, they'll never know when an uprising might start. Ironically, as soon as we capture the Imperial capital, the Old Kingdom's lords are likely to rise up immediately.
Right. Hey, you.
Really?
Professor!
There are all kinds of rumors about you spreading through the Alliance. Some say you're the new embodiment of Saint Seros herself. Claude's popularity has certainly risen too. Somewhat.
So, did you know? A magnificent canal flows through downtown Enbar. It's said to have been constructed under the guidance of Saint Seros before the Empire was even formed. Ever since, that canal has been a major lifeline for the capital's development. And now this is how the Empire repays it. Truly, no good deed goes unpunished.
Professor!
Please.
Yes.
I was taught from a young age to believe that the Creed of Seros was just the way of the world. To question it never even occurred to me. But Claude and Edelgard are different. They challenge the common wisdom, even defy it. It is uncomfortable to discard familiar assumptions, but that is an essential quality of the visionary. Indeed, true greatness must lie beyond common sense.
Come to think, the whole of the capital is going to be a battleground. The city has such a long heritage. Even so, perhaps it deserves to be reduced to ashes for once. But we can't let the common folk get hurt. We should try to confine the damage to the noble section of town.
It's very likely that Lady Rhea is confined in the Imperial Palace. If so, then our strategy will be to gain control of the streets and then assault the castle. A street battle followed by a castle invasion. It's just one battle after another. It'll be tough. I was born in Enbar. My mother and father met in a church there. Not too long after, I was brought into the world. I do not understand how war can happen in such a precious place. It is...
Professor, at last, the end is nigh. I love the Empire. Part of me wants it to survive, but I know that is not reasonable. The Empire's time has come. What we need now is a mighty leader who can rebuild Fodlan and rule it as a single nation. Nonetheless, it saddens me that we will not have an Adrestian Emperor.
Professor!
Enbar's streets are paved with unhappy memories, Professor. I've avoided the damned place ever since I abandoned my nobility. Now here we are. To return in this manner. Well, I can't say it is something I ever imagined.
Hi. We're finally going to the capital. This will be my chance to avenge Captain Gerald. Once we smash the Empire, I'm sure his soul will finally be able to rest in peace. Monica killed Captain Gerald for the Flame Emperor, and the Flame Emperor was Edelgard. I know that the future of all Fodlan rests on this battle. Nothing else is more important. But for me, this is personal. For Captain Gerald's sake, I'm going to give it all I've got and more.
Rhea will be somewhere in the city. I wonder if she can sense us coming. If we are able to save her, then I expect you will learn many secrets that have hitherto been kept from you. Are you prepared for that? Excellent. The battle will soon be upon us. Let us both be at our best for what is to come.
Whenever I think about how we'll be seeing Lady Rhea real soon, I get happy and really get cleaning. We'll get there for sure, right? We'll see her again? I just gotta believe Lady Rhea is waiting for us in the capital. We just have to find her.
Fighting in the capital? Ugh. And we're fighting against Edelgard. Double ugh. But with you leading us, Professor, I know we'll win. Yeah! Woohoo! Fighting! I'm a little scared, to be honest. I'm just shouting to relieve the tension, but I'll be fine. Excuse me, could you do me a favor? Fighting in the but with you, yeah! I'm a little scared.
Asthma?
Ha! Hey, Lysithea.
That smell.
Eating alone.
smaller bites will...
Eating food always fun.
I'll fondly...
My brother...
This is so...
I like this dish.
Somehow...
Yum.
Ah.
The flavor...
I'm grateful I...
The food...
Come again?
This is my...
This...
Yeah.
I have have to ask you. Are you pulling my leg?
Teacher.
Thanks a million.
Thank you.
Let's take a... We'll have to do better.
I see.
I understand.
Like